Connor, one of my students asked me how to make Tarkhun, which I brought a few weeks ago to a party. And I'll say that Tarkhun is a Georgian soft drink, Tarkhuna, and it was made in the city Kutaisi about 100 years ago. And like all soft drinks at the time, it was a sugary concentrate that was meant to be mixed with soda water. And you would go to a pharmacy and you would order this stuff, tarkhuna, and the pharmacist would measure out some of the syrup, add some soda water, and there you had it. It was a soda drink, and this evolved into the American soda fountain, which is essentially sort of just like in the 50s and 60s, it was a bar, but for people who didn't drink alcohol, although there were many alcoholic drinks. And most of the soft drinks that we have today, Pepsi, Coke, Mountain Dew, that kind of stuff, they have their origins in this practice of making soda drinks, adding concentrates to fizzy water. So Tarkhun is made from Tarragon, and it was considered to be good for your stomach. And you make the syrup pretty easily. Well, I took about a quart of 150-degree water, not boiling, but hot, too hot for you to comfortably stick your finger in. And I steeped about an ounce and a half of tarragon leaves. That's a lot of tarragon leaves. It was basically the entire package of tarragon from the grocery store. And I let it steep in that hot water all day long. And I made a really strong tarragon tea. And then I made it even stronger by using tarragon extract, and you'll find a link in this video if I can figure out how to put it in there. I used a fair amount, about 2 tablespoons. I just kept tasting the concentrate until it was really punchy and tasted strongly of tarragon. And then I added citric acid, and there's a link for that in the film as well, if you're interested. And citric acid is amazing stuff, and it was used because lemons and limes weren't easily accessible anywhere in the world. Quite different 100 years ago, no refrigeration. And so in place of lemons and limes, soda manufacturers used citric acid, and they still do. And the citric acid provides a balance to the sweetness. And here's the thing, you use a ton of sugar in this quart of water to make the syrup, because remember, we're going to dilute this syrup with fizzy water. And I don't know how much I used, but a lot. I probably used about 2 cups of sugar until that quart was basically very sweet. Remembering again that I was going to dilute it. And so I used about 2 tablespoons of tarragon extract, about a tablespoon of citric acid. Citric acid is way stronger than you think it is. Use it very carefully. And about 2 cups of sugar. And I mixed those up until the sugar was completely dissolved in the syrup solution. And I tasted it, and I was trying to balance sweet and sour. It was neither too sweet nor too sour. It's hard to tell you how to sample it and figure out what the balance is, but you're essentially looking for a balance between the sweet and the sour. And I wanted a really, really strong punch of tarragon. And finally, I wanted it to be vibrantly green. And as you'll see, if you just Google the word Tarkhun, Tarkhun, the expectation is for that drink to be vividly like nuclear green. And so I used some paste food colors that I usually use in icing for cakes. And I mixed blue and green until I got the shade I wanted. This is really, it's just like, like an artist trying to explain how to get a particular shade mixing oil paints. You just keep adding a little bit at a time and being patient. Or you just add straight up green. I mean, you could get really simple and just make like a Kelly green, plain green look, but I was looking for a very specific hue of green. And then I stirred it up and put it in the refrigerator, and you end up with a syrup. It should be very strong, it should be very sweet, it should be very sour, and it should taste very strongly of tarragon. And the idea then is that you use maybe, I don't know, 1 part syrup to 3 parts soda. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people like it strong, some people like it weak. And you serve that over ice, and you essentially have a non-alcoholic cocktail called Tarkhuna in Georgian. And I'll put a link to some history and other recipes that you might find interesting.